Hey everybody, I want to talk today about working as a two-person team, especially as a wedding DJ, as opposed to a one-person team. And I want to try to overcome the objections from the people who think they do as good of a job with a solo person as opposed to a team. And if you think that, you're wrong. You're just wrong. Listen, I've worked hundreds of weddings by myself, and I've worked hundreds of weddings with an assistant. Hands down, there's no question, you cannot deliver the same guest experience with one person that you can with two. And there are so many reasons to go with a two-person package. I'm going to run through as many of them as I can, as quickly as I can, to try to stay under 1 minute. But since we're at 45 seconds already, I think that's going to not happen again today. But let me just give you a whole bunch of reasons why you should be working with a second person. First off, let's talk about the simple stuff. Just loading your gear in and out is so much easier. This job physically is hard. The wear and tear on you and your equipment when you're working by yourself is really tough. And over the course of weeks, months, years, it begins to show. I've seen a lot of DJs whose bodies are breaking down because of this. So just getting in and out in a timely fashion is a big deal. Man, at the end of the night when it's time to go and you can stand there and shake hands and kiss babies and pass out cards while your assistant is striking the gear and getting ready to go is invaluable. Instead of you having to be busy taking care of that, you should be busy working with your guests. Taking requests. Listen, simple as that. You get the headphones on, you're mixing, somebody comes up to take a request. You have to make a decision. Do you let the mix go or do you let the guest go? You know, mother of the bride comes up to say something to you and you're like, hang on a minute, I can't talk to you right now, I got to do the mix. Or do you let the mix go? No, you've got, as a DJ can be DJ, MC can be MC. So even in the dance mode, you can do this. These are in no particular order, by the way. Smooth transitions. When you can be on the dance floor or in front of the head table or wherever you need to be as master of ceremonies, and that music can drop in at the right time, can go up or down, volume on the microphone can go up or down depending on what's going on, and you don't have to be, buried in the corner the whole time. Everything is much smoother. When you go to a Broadway play, the actors aren't also running the PA system, right? They're just being the actor. Backup. When something happens to you, you've got backup. And that can be as simple as, I got to go to the bathroom. You can still have a person in the room. If you're not feeling well, in a worst case scenario, you can't make the event at all. You've got another person who can still go out there and do that event. It's not as good, but it's better than not showing up at all, isn't it? We do what are called attitude adjustments, and attitude adjustments are important. That's sort of what prompted this one. An attitude adjustment, sometimes you just get, somebody's on your nerves and they're really bothering you. You can step outside, get away from that, take a deep breath, get yourself composed again. In the meantime, somebody is still running the show inside. So you have a little bit of a break to be able to get away. But also you give each other attitude adjustments. Over the years, it's been a really fun thing. My assistants know to say, I always work with a DJ, and my DJ would sometimes just look across the room and go, because I tend to let my emotions show, and when I'm dealing with some, moron out there who's trying to make things not work, sometimes it shows. So then a quick little smile, and I do the same thing for my assistant as well. Music ideas. You're mixing, you're tearing it up, and sometimes you just draw a blank. Listen, two heads are better than one. Sometimes just, somebody will throw out an idea. My DJ will have, I was like, hey, play this next week. Well, what if we do this instead? I'm like, oh, great idea. Should have thought of it, but I didn't. Two heads are better than one. Music ideas. It's really more fun. You can play off of each other a lot. I've talked about this before our events. When I would go out to do my first announcement of the day, I'd run over everything quickly with my DJ. We'd get all set. Going to be some language here, so deal with this, folks. But our running joke started with my DJ David a few years ago, and we've done this forever. As I'm ready to walk out on the dance floor, make my very first announcement, welcoming everybody, I would walk over and say, you all set? We're all good? Everything's good? Great. We'd do a quick fist bump, and as I would walk away, my DJ would go, don't fuck it up. And it would make me laugh. I would walk out onto the dance floor with a smile on my face. So instead of walking out, all serious, looking at my, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, then I would be coming out like, that's great. Good evening. A very different feel. So you play off of each other. It's more fun for you. Editing toast for playback. I'll talk more about this in another episode, but playing, being able to edit those toasts and do the finale is huge. And you can do it by yourself, but something's got to give. If you're focused on that, you're not focused on other things. So having a second person to be able to edit those, and I will tell you that our finales that we do are the one thing I would never, ever give up. And that really requires a second person. Equipment failures. When an equipment failure happens, you've got backup there. But if it's a kind of a catastrophic equipment failure that requires, a speaker to be replaced or, something major like that, is the party down while you're doing that? Or can you still help run the party while somebody else covers that moment? So for those catastrophic moments, and again, we're talking about, I've had this happen a couple of times in 30 years of being a DJ. But when those times came, it was a really big deal. Eating, whatever you feel about eating, if you're in a long event and you have to eat, you can still have somebody running the party while you run in the back, grab a few bites to eat and come back. And then you can cover as your assistant goes out and get something to eat. So just being able to cover that time is a really big deal. Let's talk about safety and loading. We know we unload and sometimes, or load in at the end of the night, some very unsavory places. You're in some dark back alley. There's safety in numbers. Having two people there is better than one. There have been incidents over the years where bad things have happened to people. So having another person there as a backup is really important. If you're a multi-op, it's the best way to train somebody to ultimately become an MC. They start out working as an assistant. They work their way into being a DJ. They get on the microphone some. Eventually, they train with you to become a master of ceremonies. And now you've got somebody who makes you some money. So we'll talk in a future episode at some point about how to compensate them. But I'll just give you the short version. You charge an extra couple $100 to the client, and you tell them some of the things I just told you. All the things you can do for them, how you can be there for them with an assistant, and you charge them an extra couple $100, pay that directly to your DJ. You don't even need to make any money off of that DJ in order to make money, because your events will be so much better. You'll get even more referrals than before. Never, ever, ever work by yourself at a wedding reception. It's too important of a day. There's too much going on. I encourage you to do that. My 1 minute is almost up. Gotta go.